Hi, Shane here. You're watching Sam for God, and this is Mark. Check her out.
So hi guys, how are you doing? A couple of weeks ago I went to the Menier Chocolate Factory, which is a fringe theatre, and I saw a show called Forbidden Broadway, and this is my programme for it. Now Forbidden Broadway isn't a new show, it's been around for quite a few years. It's obviously been on Broadway before, off-Broadway, and it's been in London a few times as well previously. But I'd never seen it before, and I'd never heard anything about the songs in it before either. So for me it was quite new, although I kind of knew what it was about. Basically this is a parody show. It's a show that makes fun of loads of other musicals in the West End. And for me, that's just perfect. Like, as a big musical theatre fan, you know, this just was pretty much up my street. And before I say anything more about the show, I do have to say that if you don't know much about musicals or theatre in general, then you probably won't enjoy this because this show doesn't have a plot. It's not a story or anything, it's literally 4 actors on stage making fun of different shows in the West End and Broadway. And if you have seen other shows in the West End, or the majority of the shows in the West End, you're going to find this show absolutely hilarious because it's just brilliant. I mean, they literally make fun of every show, and not in like a bad way, but more like a haha, this is what's wrong with the show, but we all agree with it and we still love the show anyway, but it's funny to point it out. Which is why it's really fun, and yeah, it was just so good. I'm obviously not going to go into detail because it's best if everything remains a surprise for you when you go and see the show, but they pretty much make fun of, like I said, every single show in the West End, I think. Well, most of them anyway. All the big ones, of course, like Phantom, Les Mis, Wicked, Matilda, and Miss Saigon was there as well, which was quite funny. If you don't know, I work front of house at Miss Saigon at the moment, which means I see the show pretty much every day, and see that section of Miss Saigon, of them kind of making fun of Miss Saigon, was really funny for me. It was great. I thought they did a great job as well. It was literally hilarious, and there was like a small helicopter and some at some point as well, which was really cool. I don't know, it was just really fun, like light-hearted comedy. And one of my other favourite bits was actually the Les Mis section. It was quite a long section, but I suppose Les Mis is a very big show, so they had loads of material to play around with, and especially the revolve on stage was so funny. And the songs, I mean, basically what it is that the actors come out and sing songs from these shows, but with different lyrics. Like, they change the lyrics, but obviously the melodies are the same, and that's why I say it's quite important to have at least seen most of the shows if you want to go and see the show and enjoy it, because otherwise you just won't really understand it and you won't find it funny at all. One of my other favourite parts was Once, the musical. They performed quite a few songs from that show, and the lyrics that they changed the songs to were brilliant, like absolutely genius. I love Once. I think it's a great show. I enjoyed it. I've seen it quite a few times and I think it's a great show, but everything that they said about Once in the lyrics and stuff was very true, and I agree with them, and that's the great thing. I mean, it's like they point out the faults in different shows, and when you listen to them, you start laughing because you're like, actually, it's true. I mean, I may not have thought about it before, but I understand the fact that it's probably true. It's not the best show I've seen. I mean, there are faults in pretty much every show, to be honest, and for somebody who likes shows and theatres, it's sometimes fun to just make fun of them. And I don't know, even shows I love like Wicked and Billy Elliot were there, and I had absolutely no problem just kind of laughing at the jokes about them. And I don't know, it's just, for anybody who likes musical theatre, I think this is a must-see show, basically. The cast was also amazing, like, fantastic cast. Like I said, there's only 4 cast members and they play a variety of different roles throughout the 2 hours of the show, and it's just amazing to see them change quickly from like one role to another and just do all these different things with their voices and play all these different characters, and it's all of them are absolutely incredibly talented, and it was just a joy to watch them all. Literally, there wasn't a weak link in the cast. I do want to mention though, Sophie Louise Dan, who was one of the cast members, she was phenomenal. Like, she was probably a standout, although like I said, they were all brilliant, but Sophie Louise Dan was just insanely hilarious. I'd seen her before in Lend Me a Tenor a few years ago, and she was outstanding in that as well. I think she actually got nominated for her role in that show a few years ago. She didn't win, but she was nominated like for an Olivia Award. But yeah, Anna Jane Casey as well, she's also in this show, and she's brilliant. Like, I don't know, she's such a versatile actress, and you see this in the show. She plays so many different characters, and she made me laugh a lot. Damien Humbly is another actor in this show. Again, fantastic. I've seen him in quite a few shows now, and he never fails to put on an incredible performance. He's an incredible actor. And the 4th actor is Ben Lewis, who, if I'm being completely honest, he was probably the least memorable of all of them, but that doesn't mean he was bad. He was still really funny, and I've still enjoyed his performance. That's pretty much all I can say, really. This show has just recently transferred from the Menier Chocolate Factory to the West End. It's at the Vaudeville Theatre at the moment. So if you can, go and see it. I believe the cast is still the same apart from Sophie Louise Dan, who left actually. Her last show was a show that I attended at the Menier Chocolate Factory by accident. She's left because she's joining the cast of Made in Dagenham soon. But I'm pretty sure her replacement is just as good, so go and see this show. If you love musical theatre, then 100% you're going to love the show in my opinion. Don't by any means listen to like songs from the show before you go and see it though, because that will ruin the surprise. It's kind of like Book of Mormon. It's best to avoid listening to the songs from the show because it's funnier when you hear them for the first time live on stage, and I don't know, I just think anybody who likes musical theatre should go and watch the show, and I'm hoping to go and see it again actually. I don't know if I can or not, just because of my work and stuff, because I work in the evenings, but hopefully I will get a chance to go and see it again. And yeah guys, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye!